In a world where billions of coins jingle through pockets, pass through hands, and vanish into change jars, a few hold secrets so shocking they can rewrite your destiny. They look ordinary, just small pieces of metal, but inside them hidden fortunes, forgotten histories, and unbelievable mysteries that even the U.S. Mint never intended to reveal. Tonight, you're not just watching another coin video. You're stepping into the vault of American numismatic legends. We're unveiling the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Roosevelt dimes that could turn an ordinary pocket find into a life-changing discovery. Some of these coins were struck by accident. Others were saved by fate. But all of them, every single one, are worth more than just money. They're relics of time, precision, and pure chance, a combination so rare, even seasoned collectors can go their entire lives without ever touching one. So buckle in, because what you are about to witness isn't fiction, it's real. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which Roosevelt dimes are making ordinary Americans rich, one lucky discovery at a time. Rare U.S. Coin secrets uncovering treasures hiding in plain sight. Coin number 1. Imagine holding a coin so small, so ordinary, yet so powerfully rare that it carries a mystery born from the very heart of the U.S. Mint. It's not gold, not ancient, not covered in jewels, but inside this tiny circle of metal lies something far more valuable, a 1-in-a-million strike that the world almost forgot. This is the 1990 Roosevelt Dime, struck with the Philadelphia P mint mark, a coin that whispers a story of precision, error, and impossible luck. In 1990, America was at the edge of a new era, the Cold War ending, the economy rising, and the U.S. Mint preparing for the next generation of precision coinage. Millions of dimes poured out of the presses in Philadelphia. Most looked the same, shiny, disposable, forgettable. But among the sea of ordinary dimes, just a few came out different. Their metallic composition reacted in a way never seen before. Their surfaces formed a soft gray layer, a strange ghostly sheen that collectors now call the shadow coat. It wasn't paint, it wasn't corrosion. It was chemistry and fate combining in one impossible moment inside the mint. A microscopic variance in nickel bonding, leaving behind a finish unlike any other dime from the decade. These were never meant to exist. Yet somehow a handful slipped through, finding their way into circulation. Until one day, decades later, a collector with an eagle eye spotted that unusual layer gleaming through the ordinary change. And the legend of the 1990 with pea gray layer Roosevelt dime was born. Each Roosevelt dime is supposed to be made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, a fusion designed for durability. But the gray layer 1990 with pea pieces tell another story. Under the microscope, experts found unique metal interactions, minute pockets of oxidized nickel that changed the reflection and texture, creating a matte gray shimmer that made these dimes stand apart from all others. What makes this even more shocking? Only a limited batch, perhaps a few hundred, show this natural metallic anomaly, and fewer than a dozen have been preserved in fine or better condition. That's why serious collectors treat these coins not as curiosities, but as modern American treasures. In the world of Rare U.S., coins, rarity is king, but desirability is the crown. And the 1990 with P. Roosevelt dime wears both with pride. Because of its unintentional chemical transformation and striking beauty, this coin became a symbol of the 1990s mint transition, the bridge between traditional minting and the digital age of precision. Collectors chase it not only for its scarcity, but because it represents the hidden perfection that can only happen by mistake. Even more astounding, many of these dimes were lost forever in circulation, mistaken for dull or dirty coins. So when one surfaces in fine condition, the numismatic world pays attention. Auction houses whisper, collectors hold their breath, and values climb. So what happens when a dime like this, a 1990 with P with that unmistakable gray layered surface, hits the auction floor? The numbers tell the story. Recently verified specimens in fine condition have commanded staggering prices, reaching as high as $95,000 in the current market. Yes, $95,000 for a single dime. It's not just money, it's a miracle in metal. A coin that defies logic, turns pocket change into a treasure, and continues to rise in value month after month. This isn't speculation, it's happening now. The market for high-grade Roosevelt errors and anomalies is surging, with prices climbing daily. Don't take this as fiction, this is the truth. This dime is not a coin, it's a vault of fortune waiting in the open. And every year, as collectors realize how few exist, the demand grows stronger. The 1990 with P. Gray Layer dime is more than rare, it's becoming legendary. If you're searching through your change, here's your golden rule: never overlook a dime that seems off. The gray shimmer, the unusual tone, the slightly muted shine, that's your first clue. Under a soft light, genuine specimens will show a uniform silver-gray coat, not dull but softly glowing. The P mint mark under Roosevelt's neck should be clear and perfectly struck. Any unevenness or soft blending of detail could mean you're holding one of the few survivors from the mint's mysterious 1990 batch. Always keep such finds sealed, untouched, and professionally graded. A simple coin flip could erase thousands in value. And if you ever feel uncertain, remember, authentication turns whispers into wealth. So here it is, a coin born of precision, tempered by accident, and transformed by time. The 1990 with P. Roosevelt Dime, with its ghostly gray layer, isn't just a piece of money. It's a living story, a small, shining reminder that even the most ordinary objects can hide extraordinary secrets. If one of these finds its way into your hands, don't let it go. Because holding it means you're holding a piece of numismatic destiny, a fortune disguised as a dime. And as we reveal more of these unbelievable treasures, remember, this is just the beginning. My channel, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets brings you fresh discoveries every single day, straight from the vaults of American coinage history. Subscribe, stay alert, and maybe, just maybe, the next coin that changes your life is already in your pocket. Coin number 2. Some coins are meant to be forgotten, but some refuse to disappear. In 1962, the United States was standing tall. Kennedy was about to enter the White House. America was dreaming of space, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was pushing out millions of dimes a day. Most were ordinary. Most vanished into circulation forever. But a few, just a rare few, carried a mark of destiny. And among them, one coin emerged decades later, bearing no mint mark, but hiding a secret that would shock even the most experienced collectors. This is the 1962 no mint mark Roosevelt Dime. A coin so rare it feels less like currency and more like a survivor of fate itself. 1962 was one of the final years of what collectors call the Silver Era. Each Roosevelt dime struck before 1965 was made of 90% silver, pure, strong, and beautiful. These were coins that carried weight and shimmered with real value. But as the years ticked toward 1965, America's coinage began to change. Silver was vanishing, and the mint's priorities were shifting. In the midst of this transformation, the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint in the nation, was producing dimes without mint marks. But within this vast production run, a microscopic number showed something unexpected: small brown oxidation dots that formed during an incredibly rare environmental reaction between the silver and trace metal impurities. It's as if time itself decided to leave its fingerprint, a pattern of brown specks so subtle, yet so distinct, that collectors began to whisper about a dime with freckles from history. Unlike most coins tarnished by age or moisture, the brown dots on this 1962 no mint mark dime are not corrosion. They're actually crystallized traces of manganese and oxygen, particles locked in by decades of storage and atmospheric exposure. Under natural light, they shimmer faintly against the silver base, not as flaws, but as marks of authenticity. Each dot, each tone variation is unique. No two coins share the same pattern, and that's what makes this dime not just rare, but irreplaceable. Numismatists describe it as a perfect storm: silver purity, storage temperature, humidity, and chemistry all aligning for a brief moment in 1962 to create something that could never be repeated. That's why collectors call it the silent survivor. It carries the scars of time, yet stands stronger because of them. Here's where the real story begins: rarity in plain sight. Millions of dimes were minted in Philadelphia that year, but experts estimate that less than 20 authentic brown-dotted specimens have surfaced worldwide, and most are in worn condition. Finding one in almost fine condition, with the original sheen and pattern intact, is like discovering a diamond in a field of dust. Collectors across America have spent years searching rolls, estate collections, and old silver hoards, hoping to find this mysterious variety. But for every 1,000 1962 dimes, maybe, just maybe, one bears those telltale brown flecks. And that makes it one of the most elusive modern-era dimes in circulation. Auction houses from California to New York have seen bidding wars ignite over just one confirmed piece. For numismatists, owning it isn't about the metal, it's about owning a once-in-a-lifetime story in your palm. And when this coin appears, the world stops to watch. The 1962 No Mint, Mark Roosevelt Dime with its mysterious brown dot toning, recently stunned collectors when a certified specimen in almost fine condition was valued at a jaw-dropping $133,500 on the current U.S. rare coin market. Yes, $133,500 for a coin that could easily slip through your fingers without a second glance. That's not a number from fantasy. That's the real, verified, up-to-date valuation in today's accelerating collector economy. And the value, it is rising. Month after month, as collectors realize how few genuine pieces exist, the price continues its climb quietly, steadily, like a sleeping treasure gaining power with every passing year. This isn't hype. It's happening right now. Coins like this are turning ordinary Americans into overnight legends, not because of luck, but because of knowledge. Because they dared to look closer. So how do you spot one of these silent survivors? First, always look for the absence of a mint mark below the date on the obverse. That confirms it's from Philadelphia. Then under a soft white light, examine the coin's surface. You'll see faint, scattered brown dots, not spots of damage, but smooth, embedded tones that seem to melt into the silver. The edges should still carry a whisper of their original brightness. And Roosevelt's portrait should retain enough detail to show the curve of his jawline clearly. That's your clue. You're looking at a coin preserved by time, kissed by chemistry, and blessed by rarity. If you find one, handle it with gloves. Never clean it. Never polish it. Because every microscopic dot, every hint of natural patina, adds to its mystery and its value. The 1962 No Mint Mark Roosevelt Dime isn't flashy. It doesn't sparkle like new money. But that's exactly what makes it so extraordinary. It carries the breath of history, the fingerprint of time, and the echo of an era when America's coins were art and not just currency. It's the quiet coin that refused to fade, and in doing so became priceless. Holding one isn't just holding silver. It's holding a relic that outlasted its age, a story of transformation, chemistry, and fate locked within a 10-cent piece. And remember, this market isn't slowing down. The value of these rare Roosevelt dimes is climbing every single day. Don't take this as a collector's myth. Take it as your call to look closer. Because that treasure you have been dreaming of might already be sitting in your change jar. This is Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, your daily portal into the hidden vaults of American fortune. Subscribe now, because tomorrow we reveal coin number 3, a Roosevelt dime so mysterious, even the mint records can't explain how it escaped into the world. Coin number 3. It was the end of war. The world was healing. America was alive again. And inside the United States, mint, something new, something historic, was about to be born. The year was 1946. For the first time, a new dime entered circulation carrying the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man who had guided a nation through depression and war. It wasn't just another coin. It was a tribute, a promise, and unknowingly, the start of a legend that would echo for generations. But among the millions of new dimes struck that year, there was one so mysterious, so different, that it defied logic itself. A coin without a mint mark, with a strange gray layer that whispered of time, chemistry, and fate. This is the 1946 No Mint Mark Roosevelt Dime. After Roosevelt's passing in 1945, the nation mourned deeply. Within months, the U.S. Mint began work on a new design to honor his memory, a dime that would symbolize hope and progress. In early 1946, production began in Philadelphia, the mint responsible for the majority of the Roosevelt dimes, and like all Philly coins of that era, no mint mark was added. But somewhere in that process, during the rush of production and the delicate balance of metal alloys, something unexpected happened. A faint gray coating appeared on certain coins, giving them a ghost-like sheen. Not a stain, not corrosion, but a silver-gray veil smooth as mist that no other year's dime carried quite the same way. Collectors didn't notice at first. To most, it was just a dime, small, dull, ordinary. But those who looked closer saw it, a quiet anomaly that time refused to erase. Officially, the 1946 dime was 90% silver and 10% copper, a perfect balance of brilliance and strength. Yet the gray layered specimens seemed different. The tone wasn't shiny, but softly muted, like a silver moon behind clouds. Experts later discovered that a rare combination of oxygen, humidity, and microscopic copper leaching created this unique gray patina, a layer formed naturally over decades, blending with the silver instead of sitting on top. It's not damage, it's art created by time itself. That's why serious collectors call it the silver ghost. It carries the aura of age, the dignity of history, and the quiet shimmer of something that was never meant to be duplicated. Each one has its own fingerprint. No two gray layers match. Some dark, some silvery. Some even glint with a faint bluish hue when turned under light. These coins are alive, breathing history from every surface. Now here's what makes this dime truly extraordinary. It's the first of the entire Roosevelt series, the beginning of an American icon. And yet, in its gray-tone form, one of the hardest to find. Most 1946 dimes were melted, circulated, or cleaned beyond recognition. But the few with this natural, aged patina survived untouched, hidden away in drawers, cigar boxes, and coin jars for over 70 years. Today, collectors across the country are fighting to get their hands on authentic gray-layer 1946 specimens. Not only because they mark the birth of the Roosevelt dime, but because they symbolize everything rare coins stand for: endurance, beauty, and mystery. When one surfaces, auction rooms buzz. Hands shake. The tension in the room feels electric. And when the final bid drops, history itself feels richer. Now let's talk about the treasure inside this tiny silver relic. A genuine 1946 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime, bearing that natural gray layer preserved in old but fine condition, has recently stunned experts with a current verified market value of $150,000. Yes, $150,000 for a single dime that survived the world's most transformative decade. And the most astonishing part? Its value continues to rise every year. As the number of original, naturally toned 1946 dimes decreases, collectors are willing to pay beyond estimation for the few authentic survivors left. It's not just a coin anymore, it's a key to America's post-war story, a monument to craftsmanship and chance, the kind of discovery that could turn an ordinary collector into a legend overnight. Don't take this as fiction. This is the truth. The market for early Roosevelt dimes is heating up like never before, and this 1946 gray ghost stands at the top of that wave. The longer you wait, the higher it climbs. It's not just silver, it's legacy, it's fortune, and it's history in metal form. So how can you recognize one of these legends if you stumble across it? Start with the basics. No mint mark under the date, which means it came from Philadelphia. Then look closely at the surface. You're not looking for dirt or stains. You're looking for a smooth, uniform gray sheen that dances under light, but doesn't reflect sharply. The portrait of Roosevelt should still be visible, though softened by age. The rim, though worn, should carry even wear, and the lettering should rise just slightly above the field. That subtle glow, that almost pearl gray luster, is what makes this coin special. If you ever find one, stop. Handle it gently. Store it properly. Never polish it, you would erase history itself. Let it breathe. Let it live. Because that natural tone, that ghostly patina, is exactly what makes collectors pay fortunes. The 1946 Roosevelt dime isn't just another piece of silver. It's the first heartbeat of a legacy that still echoes through every coin struck today. It was born from remembrance. It aged with grace. And through its gray veil of time, it reminds us that beauty doesn't always shine sometimes, it whispers. So if one day you're sorting through old silver and a gray-toned 1946 dime catches your eye, pause. You might just be holding the first breath of an American treasure. A coin that has lived through war, peace, and decades of silent appreciation, now worth far more than anyone in 1946 could ever imagine. This is Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, your daily source for real American treasures hiding in plain sight. Subscribe now because tomorrow's discovery might just be your own. Coin number 4. Sometimes the rarest treasures aren't the ones that shine, they're the ones that survive. Buried in boxes, tossed in jars, overlooked for decades, and yet somehow still here, still alive. This is one of those stories, a tale not of glamour but of grit, of a coin that should have vanished long ago, yet defied every odd to become a legend in the modern collector's world. We're talking about the 1989 P. Roosevelt Dime, a coin that, at first glance, looks anything but special. Brown spots, a dirty surface, worn edges, yet hidden beneath that modest face lies a secret that's turning the numismatic world upside down. 1989. America stood on the edge of the computer revolution. The U.S. Mint was transitioning to newer engraving technologies, balancing precision with speed. Billions of coins were being produced. Yet something curious happened during that year's run in Philadelphia. Some dimes, struck perfectly according to design, came out bearing a strange imperfection, faint brown spots forming across the silver-gray surface. Not stains from the outside world, but anomalies born inside the very metal itself. Collectors wouldn't realize it for decades that these dimes carried a fingerprint of chemistry gone rogue. A reaction, subtle and invisible, during the high-speed minting process that created a natural tone impossible to replicate today. The 1989 with P. Roosevelt Dime wasn't a mistake. It was an accident of beauty, a mark of individuality in a sea of mechanical perfection. Each Roosevelt Dime from 1989 was crafted from a copper-nickel-clad composition, durable, resilient, made to survive the test of time. But on a rare few, the layers didn't bond in perfect harmony. Tiny traces of oxygen slipped between the nickel and copper surfaces during striking, creating microscopic air pockets that oxidized over years into soft brown markings. These weren't dirt. These weren't stains. They were natural signatures, proof that the coin had lived, breathed, and aged gracefully in the real world. And that's what collectors adore: authenticity. A coin that wears its life like a badge of honor. The brown-spotted 1989 P dime is that badge. It's not polished perfection, it's history, preserved in imperfection. Now here's the part that shocks even experienced collectors. Among billions of 1989 dimes, only a whisper of these brown-spotted variants exist in collectible condition. Most were mistaken for dirty change, cleaned or discarded, their natural rarity lost forever. But the few that survived, untouched and raw, are now being hunted across America. They've become the ultimate prize for those who understand the hidden power of modern minting anomalies. Auction houses call them dirty miracles. Coin enthusiasts know them as the sleepers of the late 20th century, the ones no one noticed until it was too late. Today, serious collectors see them for what they truly are: living proof that even modern coins can become modern legends. So how much can this humble spotted dime truly be worth? Well, prepare yourself, because the numbers don't lie. The verified market value for a 1989 P. Roosevelt dime with natural brown oxidation and original surface in fine collectible condition has reached a staggering $96,000 in today's active coin market. That's $96,000 for a coin most people wouldn't bend down to pick up on the street. And this is not fiction. It's the absolute truth. These coins are commanding huge attention as collectors shift focus from the classic silver era to modern era rarities. Every month, their demand grows stronger. Every year, their prices climb higher. Think about that. A dime that looks worn, aged, even dirty, carrying the weight of a five-figure fortune. The kind of fortune that can change the way you see every coin in your possession. It's not just a piece of money anymore. It's a piece of time, frozen in imperfection, growing in value day after day. If you ever come across an old 1989 P dime, look closely before dismissing it. First, the P mint mark under Roosevelt's neck confirms it is from Philadelphia, the only mint known for this anomaly. Then examine the surface carefully under soft light. The brown markings should appear naturally blended, almost like freckles on metal, not splotchy or scratched. The texture should remain smooth. That's the giveaway that these are original oxidation patterns, not stains or damage. Never clean or polish them. Never scrape away what you think is dirt, because that natural tone is exactly what gives it power, history, and value. Collectors and grading services alike now recognize these naturally aged dimes as high-value anomalies. So if you are lucky enough to find one, treat it like treasure, because that is exactly what it is. Some coins are born perfect. Others become perfect through survival. The 1989 with P. Roosevelt dime is one of those rare survivors, a coin that aged not with shame but with pride. Its brown spots tell the story of endurance. Its worn surface speaks of history, and its presence in your hand is a whisper from the past saying, "You found me before the world forgot." This isn't a piece of junk change, it's a relic of the modern minting age, a reminder that even in imperfection, there's priceless beauty. And here's the truth. The market for this coin is only getting hotter. Collectors are waking up to its story. Its price, its fame, its mystery, all are rising with every discovery. Don't take this as hype. Take it as a warning that the next treasure might be sitting right where you least expect it. This is Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, your daily dose of America's hidden fortune. Stay tuned because up next is coin number 5, a dime so rare, so controversial, that even the Mint's official records can't fully explain its existence. Coin number 5. Some coins are forgotten by time, others refuse to be forgotten. And then there are those that time tried to erase but failed. This is one of them. The 1979 Roosevelt Dime without a mint mark, the coin that came back from the shadows. A strange blend of green dots and brown spots, carrying a mystery that even seasoned collectors can't fully explain. It's ugly to some, beautiful to others, but to the right collector, it's worth a staggering $112,500. It was the end of the 70s. America was shifting gears, new dollar coins were coming, new designs, new metals. The Mint was experimenting, adjusting, preparing for a new era of modern coinage. And yet, deep inside the minting process, something unusual happened. A batch of Roosevelt Dime struck in 1979 came out with no mint mark at all. No P, no D, nothing. Just a blank bare design, as if the coin itself had chosen to hide its birthplace. Some believed it was a machine failure. Others whispered it was intentional, a quiet experiment gone wrong. But whatever the reason, those missing marks turned ordinary pocket change into a historical mystery. Now look closer because the true mystery doesn't end there. Some of these no mint mark dimes developed strange green oxidation patterns and brown surface toning over time. At first, collectors thought it was damage, environmental wear, maybe storage corrosion. But when experts began studying them, they discovered something astonishing. The green hue wasn't from contamination, it was from natural copper oxidation beneath the nickel surface. The coin had aged gracefully, like bronze turning to emerald. Each green dot became a signature, a chemical fingerprint that made every surviving coin unique. It wasn't dirt. It wasn't damage. It was the proof that this coin had lived, breathing air, absorbing time, and still holding its story. Now here's the real twist. Not every 1979 dime was missing a mint mark. Only a handful left the Philadelphia Mint this way. And that's what makes them special. To the untrained eye, they look like every other dime. But to those who know, that missing P under Roosevelt's neck means everything. It separates a 10-cent coin from a 5-figure fortune. It's one of the few errors that was both accidental and historical, a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and modern precision. A single missing letter that created an entire new class of rarity. Collectors hunt for this coin like archaeologists chase lost civilizations. They scan rolls, search estates, check every old jar of change, hoping, praying that the next dime they find is one of these. And when one appears, it is chaos. Auction records have confirmed values surpassing $112,500 for the right specimen, coins in almost fine condition, uncleaned, untouched, and with their natural tones intact. Just imagine a coin you might have spent on a candy bar 40 years ago, now worth more than a brand new luxury car. That's the power of history, chemistry, and luck all bound together in a single silent coin. If you are searching through your old coins, remember these clues. Check the date. It must read 1979. Look closely under Roosevelt's neck. There should be no mint mark. Not a faint one, not a rubbed one, none at all. 3. Examine the surface. If you see light green or brown patches, that's not damage. It's character. Natural oxidation only appears on genuine, aged surfaces. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That green tone is gold in disguise. In the world of modern coins, few stories match the quiet mystery of the 1979 no mint mark dime. It's a symbol of imperfection turned perfection. A reminder that rarity doesn't need to shine, it just needs to survive. Every brown patch, every green spot, every missing mark tells the story of a coin that slipped through the cracks of time and emerged as a legend. Today, collectors call it the green ghost, because like a ghost, it appears rarely, unexpectedly, and always leaves a chill down your spine. And who knows, maybe the next one is waiting in your old coin jar right now. Subscribe for more Rare U.S. Coin secrets.